Hey guys, welcome to your Good Life Now podcast. I am Frankie Martinez, and if you are one of our weekly listeners, I do apologize for last week. We have just moved homes, and I packed all my stuff to do my podcast. I knew where it was. The problem is we had no internet at our new place. We were hoping to have it at a certain day, and they couldn't connect it till a couple of days later. So I totally missed my deadline to upload on Tuesday. So if you are one of our many weekly listeners, I do apologize, and thank you for joining in today. We are ready to get back on track with your Good Life Now podcast. So thanks for listening. Speaking of moving, there's nothing like moving that really makes you just think about life, think about change, and just kind of reminisce special moments, beautiful memories. I mean, the place that we moved out of, me and my family have been there for almost 15 years, so a very long time. My youngest child knows no other place. That's the only place he's ever lived. My other ones have spent most of their life there. So it's been a very special place for us. And so as we are finalizing the move, you know, it's just nothing like moving places and locations, especially seeing the empty home now that we got almost everything out. You know, it just seems weird. It reminds us of what it looked like when we first moved in, and the feeling and what a blessing it was and all these things. So it's just, there's nothing like moving that really makes you reminisce life and of course realizing how much time has passed. I mean, I cannot believe how much time has passed since we moved into that place till now that we moved out. So it really just made me think about time, think about life, think about, you know, how precious life is and how precious time is. Going down those thoughts and just thinking about that, reminiscing, it reminded me about the good life and why I became a good life. I call myself a good life enthusiast because I became like a good life enthusiast. Really crazy. Anything about the good life I'm drawn to. If you want to know the history, it's pretty interesting, and I'm going to share it with you guys today, how I became a good life enthusiast and what really impacted me. And if you know me, I am a person who loves music. Music has always been a major part of my life. At 12 years old, I started playing the guitar. It became more than just an instrument to me. It became an emotional outlet, a social connector, a passion. My friendships were always around music, and everything was involving music. It was a huge part of my life, always has been. Even to this day, now still teaching guitar lessons and inspiring others to play, and playing with my son, who's a great guitarist right now too. Music is always playing. It's always near me. I'm a huge concert goer. I love to see live music, and it's more than just listening to music. It really connects with me on another level. It's a spiritual thing to me. I believe I connect in a concert to God more than almost any other place. So, and it's really cool. And the funny thing is, it don't even have to be like a specific Christian song. I mean, it could just be another song that it talks about life, and I totally could feel the presence of God. I connect with God. Music is very powerful. I'm always having music playing. I'm the type of guy, I'm literally the guy that when I fall in love with a song, I will literally have it on repeat, like literally all day long. I mean, if you know me, I am that guy. I can hear one song all day, and sometimes multiple days in a row. When I fall in love with a song, when it connects to me, I just fall in love with it. I connect deeply with it. It's very deep connection for me. So because of that, you know, I'm saying all this about music only to lead into the good life, because what led me to the good life, to become a good life enthusiast, was a song. It was a song that you might have heard, and if you haven't heard it, I encourage you to go and listen to it. It came out in 2009. It was super popular. But if you work at a department store, you might have heard it over and over because it's playing all over afterwards. But for me, I don't get tired of it. It's one of those songs I could hear over and over. It connected with me so deeply. The name of the song is Good Life by One Republic. It came out in 2009, 12 years ago. it connected to me so much. When I made my Instagram name, I was just so into the good life. I called myself Good Life Frankie, because that's my life purpose, is living the good life and helping people live the good life. And I own the name www.yourgoodlifenow.com since about 2000, I don't know, maybe 10, maybe 9. I've owned it so long because I've always wanted to do something with the good life. And I did a blog for a while there, and now it's led to here, this podcast. And that's why when I was thinking of this podcast, what I want it to be called, and sure enough, here I am. I'm like, you know what? It's about the good life. And Your Good Life Now is the podcast, which is something that I originally bought the domain name in 2009. So 12 years ago, this podcast was in the making. So really awesome, really awesome. So it's about this song. And I'll tell you why. This song, it's called Good Life by One Republic. It's a very cool song. It has some kind of Coldplay vibes to it. It's a good sound. But even more, it's the lyrics. And so I've entitled today's episode, The Good Life. And I'm just going to share about this song and how it impacted me, how it inspired the good life. And I'm sure it's going to inspire you to live your good life, and why it's so important to live a good life and to make it a priority in our life. Because if we don't, we'll miss it, as we'll find out through this song. And since I'm such a big music guy, don't be surprised if from time to time, or maybe even back to back sometimes, I'll just talk about songs that impacted my life and the lyrics that meant a lot to me, because that's the type of guy I am. I connect deeply with music, and it shapes my life. So here we go. This song, Good Life by One Republic. Sometimes, the lyrics say, sometimes there's airplanes I can't jump out. Sometimes there's BS that don't work now. We all got our stories, but please tell me what there's to complain about. So I'm hearing the lyrics. I hear him say this, okay? Tell me what there's to complain about. And it just reminds me, you know, I love that line in the song. It says, we all got our stories, but please tell me what's there to complain about. There's always going to be something to complain about. If you want to complain, right? There's always going to be something. And the reason why, I believe, is that complaining is literally just a habit. And since it's a habit, it comes easy. If we have fallen into the habit of complaining, which I have from time to time, I've been breaking it off little by little. I'm striving to catch myself complaining, to put that in check, because I definitely don't want that in my life. But complaining is literally a habit that we've trained ourselves to do. We've trained ourselves to focus on the negative, to see the negative. And if we want to live the good life, we can't spend it by focusing on the negative, because when we focus on the negative, that's what we see. We don't see the positive because we see the negative. It's just like that saying where two people could look at the same photo and see two different things or two different feelings and emotions. And it all depends on what's your habits, what's your mindset, what are you focusing on? And if we focus on the negative, we're going to see the negative. If we look for the positive, the Bible says all things work together for the good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose. That means it's working for your good. If you believe that, everything you experience in life is working for your good. If that's the truth, then look for the good, even in the hard times. Now, trust me, I know it is not easy, but we got to press on through faith and muster up that strength to keep looking for the good. Look for the good things in life, because God says it's working for our good. So it's very important to make sure that we are focusing not on the negative things, but we're looking for the good in life. You know, looking for the good. When you do that, you realize, what is there really to complain about in life? Now you say, well, there's tons, and that's not, how can we not complain when we're going through so much stuff, so much things in our life? And it reminded me of this movie. If you've never seen this movie, I highly encourage you. I mean, overly highly encourage it. And I highly encourage you to get some tissues to watch this movie. It's a great movie. It's an older movie, but it's called Life is Beautiful. If you watch this movie, Life is Beautiful, I believe it's in black and white. It's totally worth it. It's about a Jewish librarian named Guido and his son. And this takes place during the time of the Holocaust, when the Nazis were obviously looking for the Jewish people, putting them in concentration camps. But what this father named Guido does for his small son. His son had to be, I don't know, 7 years old, 6 years old, somewhere around there. And what the father does is so beautiful and amazing is he doesn't want his son to get scared. He doesn't want his son to be fearful because he's in a concentration camp and realize all these things and, and see the negative. So what he does is he tells his son it's a game. And it's a very cool movie because he tells his son it's a game. And he hides his son in different parts so that they don't see him. But throughout the whole movie, he's obviously suffering. The father's going through some hard times. He's taking the brunt of it. But the whole time when his son's near, he musters up every strength he has to tell his son it's a game. We're going to go hide, okay? We're going to go do this. We're going to do that. And the whole movie, he tells his son it's a game. So in reality, his son never realizes he's in a concentration camp. His son doesn't realize he's been taken captive. His son doesn't know that they are prisoners. His son thinks they're playing a game. And so it's beautiful because the son stays positive. He stays happy. And I can't tell you what happens in the end because I want you to watch this movie and tell me if you liked it. Send me an email, comment, DM, whatever. Let me know what you thought of that movie and how it impacted you because it's a great movie. And so you think, what is this father doing? Is he telling him it's a game because he's psycho? He doesn't want his son to face reality. And you could go into this thing that's wrong. You need to accept reality. No. It's not that his dad is psycho, but his dad knew that he needed his son to focus on what's good, the positive, in order to live a good life. And that's exactly kind of what I believe God needs us to do sometimes in our life. And I'm not saying we need to, live in a false reality or pretend that our troubles or trials aren't there. That's not the case. But what I am saying is that if we take a different perspective, we can live a good life even in tough situations, even in hard scenarios. So I think it's really amazing to shift our perspective, to not complain, but to be grateful, to keep that attitude of gratitude and to trust God that He is working in our life and doing great things. Another part of this song, okay, back to Good Life, I Want a Republic, the song. It says, when you're happy like a fool, let it take you over. When everything is out, you got to take it in. And I think that just ministered to me because it says, when you're happy like a fool, let it take you over. And how many times, I don't know about you, but sometimes I've gone through so many rough times back to back that I've been afraid to be happy sometimes. I've been like, wow, I'm just not even going to be happy because if I try to be happy, I know something bad is going to happen again. And, I'm just like, why be happy when I know, next season's coming or whatever. And I've been challenged through this song and through life to realize, when you realize how short life is and how precious life is and how valuable our time is, I'm encouraging you, don't be afraid to be happy. Regardless of your past, let's enjoy happiness when we can, because yes, life does have seasons, and when life is good, enjoy it, take advantage of it, and that's what I encourage us to do, to don't be afraid to be happy. I like when it says, when you're happy like a fool, let it take you over. I mean, when's the last time you were happy like a fool? I ask my family, don't ask my son. He records videos of me, and I hope he doesn't blackmail me someday. He gets videos of me happy like a fool. But because I believe that you need to be happy like a fool. You need to have that childlike faith. You need to be joyful. You need to rejoice. The Bible says the joy of the Lord is our strength. And man, if you've not been happy like a fool in a long time, let's hang out. Let's be happy like a fool together, and you will realize that life is good. And it's actually super healthy for your body to laugh, to let out a strong laugh and be happy like a fool. It's great for you. Now, here's the life changer, okay? Now, this is the chorus of the song, and this is what really impacted me. This is what created Good Life Frankie right here. It says, oh, this has got to be the good life. Oh, this has got to be the good life. This could really be a good life. Now, man, the way he sings it, when he says that, man, 2009, I heard that song, and it just hit me. I'm like, I don't even remember what season my life was in at the time, but I remember listening to it and I was like, this has got to be the good life. This has got to be the good life. And I love how he changes it and he says, this could really be a good life. And so even in a season of struggle, you can realize that's why my podcast is Your Good Life Now, because you got to realize, don't wait for things to change to enjoy your life. This is your life. Wherever you're at, wherever you're living, however much money you make, whatever your relationship status is, whatever is going on around you, this is your life today. Things can change. You can work to bring change in your life. But today, this is your life. So you have a choice to live your good life today, to embrace the good things about your life today, to embrace that maybe life isn't perfect. And I know life isn't perfect. I know it probably never will be perfect. Do you realize that? So if you're waiting for life to be perfect, you will never live your good life. I know there's real pain. Now I'm not talking about, your favorite TV show got canceled. No, I'm talking about real pain that we all experience. I know sometimes we all face things that we can't explain, that we can't understand, but believe me when I tell you this, you could really live a good life. You could really live a good life, even after everything you've gone through, even after all the things you've experienced. Yes, even after that happened, whatever it is that came to your mind, you can still really live a good life. And guess what? The powerful thing is it starts with you. It starts with you living a good life by choosing to focus on the positive, choosing. If you're having trouble doing that, the greatest thing that'll jumpstart you to live your good life now is to give your life to Jesus Christ, to ask him to forgive your sins, come into your life, because when you give your life to Jesus and surrender, you get an instant brand new start and things change for you for the better. And then you realize, you know what? I may not be where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. You realize these things and you begin to realize how amazing your life is. And so that's the chorus. That's the chorus, guys, that changed my life. Oh, this has got to be the good life. This has got to be the good life. This could really be a good life. When I heard that for the first time, I'm like, man, this really could be a good life. Regardless of whatever I'm facing or going through, I want to live a good life. I want to enjoy my life. I want to live a good life. I want my family to live a good life. I want to live a good life with my family, with my friends. I want to honor God. I want to do this. This is what I'm committing my life to. I want to do this. And what better way to inspire you listening to this podcast wherever you are? I'm here to inspire you. This could really be a good life for you. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You can live a good life. And as we say on this podcast, you can live that good life right now. Changing your perspective, changing your heart, surrendering to God, letting him do some great things inside of you. Wow, that's great, man. That song, it impacts me. I love it to this day. It sometimes brings tears to my eyes when I hear it. And it just helps me realize that we need to enjoy this life and take advantage of how amazing it is. Last part of the song, it's like the bridge, the ending. It says, hopelessly I feel there might be something that I'll miss. Hopelessly I feel like the window closes oh so quick. Hopelessly I'm taking a mental picture of you now. Because hopelessly the hope is we have so much to feel good about. So again, he's talking about the time. Time is ticking. Our life is going forward. Our life is continuing to move forward. Time is passing by. We need to have the hope to realize that we actually do have so much to feel good about. If we shift our perspective, we can see that there's so much to feel good about. Feeling good about life isn't living in a bubble, ignoring reality, but rather it's feeling good about life that recharges you. Why did the Father do that to his Son? So his Son could be in a strong, powerful state of being. And when you feel good about life, you will be recharged and refreshed. And then you'll have the strength needed to face the challenges of life with the proper perspective. I don't want you to just live this good life and ignore your problems and, sink your ship. No, that's not what it's about. I'm telling you, I know life is rough. I know life can be super hard sometimes. I know we all feel the press of it at different seasons of our life. But man, if you can feel good about your life and if you can live your good life, you will be recharged. You will have strength to face those challenges. Living your good life now is not about ignoring your challenges, pretending they don't exist. It's about feeling so good about life that you have the strength to go forward, to fight those fights you need to fight, to embrace them and live an amazing life. And I pray that that happens for you. I pray that that's your story. And that's what this episode is about. So this all was birthed through our move. I'm just reminiscing on life. I'm reminiscing on the years that have gone by. And I can say that we have lived a good life in that home. And now we're in a new home, ready to create new memories, ready to live our good life here. And it just led me down this path of thinking about the good life, thinking about how precious life is. And it led me to this song. So I wanted to share the story with you guys, the origination of Your Good Life Now podcast. Here is the origination. You get the story. It came from that song, One Republic, Changed My Life. Powerful song telling us that we can live a good life. Regardless of what you're going through, you can. And that song has shaped me for about 12 years now. And I know it's going to shape the rest of my life and my family. And that's just my thing. I am officially a Good Life Enthusiast. And I encourage you to join me. Let's make this Good Life Enthusiast a really cool thing. Let's be a Good Life Enthusiast. Be addicted to the good life. That's what it's about. And it'll inspire others to live their good life now too. So I hope you were encouraged with this podcast. I hope it inspired you. I hope it maybe led you down some memory lane and to see how the time has passed even in your life. And it should encourage you, not discourage you. Realizing the time, it should encourage you because regardless of your past, today you realize I can make a change. I can enjoy my life from this day forward. And that's so powerful. And I encourage you, forget the past, leave it behind. The bad things, and let's make a choice to live our good life now. Let's make a choice to embrace it, to realize that there's not much to complain about. Let's be happy like a fool, and let's believe that this really can be a good life. So I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to say hi. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all over the place. Your Good Life Now podcast. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. And as always, my friends, cheers to your good life.
Living that good life. I'm just living that good life. I'm just living that good life. I'm just living that good life. Good life.